So now I'm going to show you some more nice exercises we can do for our shoulders and our chest and upper limbs to get them moving nicely. And these are ones that you can do lying down on the floor. So again, please make sure you've either got a yoga mat or something soft to put on the floor just to protect your skin, especially if you have a lack of sensation anywhere. So the first exercise we're going to do is what we call child's pose. So you need to kind of come onto your knees if you're able to. Now you can either have your knees really close together like this, or you can separate them slightly if it's more comfortable for you to do so. Either way is absolutely fine. And essentially we're going to take our hands out forward, so walk your hands forwards, and we're going to pop our forehead onto the mat in front of us, like this. So forehead down and forward with the hands. It's really important with this one that we're quite active in our hands. So if you can stay active through your arms and really kind of stretch out as far as you can forwards, with really active kind of through fingers and extending out as far as possible, will give us much more kind of around shoulder to open out through. And again, just keeping the forehead on the floor. So again, so forehead down and really stretching forward with those hands. And again, try and take nice deep breath into where you can feel that stretch. So breathe into where you can feel that, which will really make a difference. You can make that slightly stronger by using those textbooks that we talked about beforehand. So if you've got a couple of hardback books, popping them out in front of you, and this time you can pop your hands on the book, so it will just give you a bit of extra mobility through your shoulders and potentially through your upper back as well. So resting your hands on the books, again, stay active in those hands, and then rest your forehead on the floor and really open out through those shoulders, and let those shoulders go as much as is tolerable in that position there. The second addition that we can do with this one, again, we'll open up kind of down the side of our rib cage and give a nice stretch through our lats as well. So this time I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to pop it out over to the right hand side, and I'm going to take my left hand, put it on top of my right hand, and kind of open up down through the left side of my body. And again, if you can, add a little extra twist up towards the ceiling, and you might find that you get a bit of extra stretch through there. And again, similar to before, if you can take some nice deep breaths in that position, and really feel like you're breathing really deeply into the side where you can feel the stretch. Again, we'll just kind of maximise that stretch. And again, stay active in your hands, because that will allow you to kind of really reach out forwards and open out as much as possible. Okay, and then gently walk your hands back to the middle, and then we're going to go to the opposite side. So I'm going to take my left hand over to the left hand side, and I'm going to pop my right hand on top of my left hand again, and trying to keep my head down as close as possible, active in my hands, and then just give a little extra rotation up to the ceiling if I can, and open up that side even more. Again, breathing really nice and deeply into that stretch, and then gently coming back into the middle, which is great. So the next addition to that is that we can open up the arms even further by clasping our hands together behind us. So if I take my hands behind my back, clasp my hands together and kind of stretch out through the front of my chest. Now, if that's the only amount of mobility you've got, then that's absolutely fine. But again, if you want to pop your head on the floor, and you can try and take your arms as much as you can over top of your head and up to the ceiling. Again, really important that you only hold that and take that as far as you feel that you can tolerate and is comfortable. Don't push through that, don't push through anything that feels uncomfortable or painful. And again, it's a nice way to open out the front of the chest. Another nice pec stretch that we can do, again, to open out kind of the front here, especially when we spend so much time kind of sitting in this position, is if we have a little lie on the floor, you're going to put your hands kind of out to the side in like a crucifix position, and the palms are going to stay down on the floor, so your hands are going to be flat to the floor, and I'm just going to give a little extra twist. So So I'm just pushing really gently with my left hand whilst my right arm stays where it is, and I can just feel that through the front of my shoulder and the front of my chest. And again, only take that as far as you feel comfortable, but try and make sure to get the most out of this stretch that this arm here stays at a right angle. So if it's down here, you won't really get that stretch. So you kind of want to be straight out to the side of you, and just really gently pushing with that other side. And then again, we can turn that onto the opposite side. So palm down, and then just give a really gentle push with that other arm as far as you feel comfortable to do so. Those of you that are really flexible, what you can do to make this even stronger, and again, you need to kind of have the trunk stability to do this, but you can take this hand and try and get it to kind of reach as far over and almost aim to meet the other hand. Now, I'm nowhere near, but you can try and aim to kind of meet that. And those guys that have potentially got the lower limb control to do so can kind of help give a little push with that top leg. And again, you'll just kind of feel that stretch even more so if that's comfortable for you to do so. And then really gently coming back onto your front. Just to finish with, we'll go through a nice little forearm stretch. So we're going to stretch through the forearm flexors, which sit on the front of our forearms. Again, if you can get into a kneeling position, great. If you can't kneel, equally you can do the same thing in sitting. It's wherever's comfortable. Ideally, kneeling's better just because it gives you more kind of preference down through your arms. But you're going to pop your hands to the side of you in this position here, and make sure that the fingers are pointing directly back behind you. So they're pointing to the wall behind you, and you're going to push those elbows forwards and then kind of lift up through there, and you should feel that down through the front of your forearm in that position there. Again, if you're really flexible, you can make this even stronger by either taking your hands further forwards or bringing your hands in front of you and then gently sitting backwards. But again, make sure that you only kind of push as far as it's comfortable for you, and you want to try and make sure as well that your palms stay flat. So there's no point being up here. Keep the palms down and then just really gently just rock back to as far as is comfortable for you to do so. And again, if you can hold that for about 30 seconds, that's great. And you might find that over time, you can kind of sit back a little bit further and then just be really gentle as you kind of come back out of that, back into a kneeling position.